So, all righty.
Alrighty.
For those of you in Zoom land, I understand you are just hearing me. I'm Margaret Lindblom with the Longmont Genealogical Society, and I'm here at the Senior Center today with
Sylvia Tracy Doulis, another member of Longmont Genealogical Society.
and we're going to take a look at FamilySearch.org. We will try to answer your questions at the end of this session, but I warn you, whole books have been written on FamilySearch.org. They could never keep them up to date, so they're hard to find. There are constant updates. What we find on the screen this minute today may be different than what is in your handout just because of updates since we prepared the handout. So we've got way more to go through than we possibly have time. I hope you all have done enough genealogy to know what I mean by the rabbit hole. With the laughter in the room, I think most of you do. Welcome to FamilySearch.org, the ultimate rabbit hole. Sylvia, what have you got on the screen for us?
You know, I have got the landing screen before you sign in. This is what it looks like.
And let's see if we want to adjust the lights a little bit. Does that make it easier to see?
Is that good for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the result of doing a FamilySearch.org
Search.
search.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So you can go to your search engine, Google, Bing, whatever it is you use, and say FamilySearch.org, and this is what you're going to get. And I'm going to do for people in the room what you're not going to be able to see online unless Sylvia tracks along. But in the upper right-hand corner, it tells you to sign in. And if you don't know how to do that, you must need to create an account. But on this screen, even before you sign in, Sylvia, would you scroll down a little bit and show us what's available? It asks who we want to look for. This is a different screen than I saw this morning when I looked at this. It tells you what they have available. Keep scrolling, please. Access to millions of people, explore the tree, keep scrolling. Find a guide in person or online. We can't go into everything that we see. We'd be here forever. But that's why you need to mark your handout to say, oh, on that very first screen, I want to see the options for finding a guide in person or online or whatever suits your fancy. That's what's in it for you. And I hope that's why you're here today. Have we hit the bottom yet?
I think we pretty much did.
Okay. So what magic happens when you sign in?
For me, it saves my login because this is my laptop, so it will take me to my sign-in screen eventually. Yes.
Oh, now my computer is even saved, so I don't have to type. I guess I'm lazy.
She has a finger.
Yeah, I do. I just don't use it very often.
So now we know that we're signed in to Sylvia's registration on FamilySearch.org. And oh, this is the screen I was remembering, because when you first attach to FamilySearch, after you've signed in, let's scroll down and see what they are going to encourage us. Now, this is all directed at Sylvia.
Yes.
This reflects what she has done most recently. But over in this right-hand column, there's all kinds of goodies for all of us. How to get started. We'll talk about indexing later. Record hints for the people that she has been interested in. Ooh, here comes some good things. She's got some friends. She's got a family group, several family groups. What the heck are FamilySearch labs? They're running experiments. If you want to know what they're doing, take a look.
Lots
More
right?
information based on the people that she has been interested in. New records from 17 more countries.
Because they add like 1,000 records a day to FamilySearch. So from other countries and the US.
Okay, I think we've exhausted this first screen.
On census records, those that have been destroyed, lost, were they ever recreated or any attempt to recreate them?
In some cases, yes. So
For the
maybe at
most
the
part,
end,
no.
yeah, but yeah, there in
Like-
some cases, yes.
1890 was basically destroyed and they're creating substitutes. Bobski.
Please be sure to repeat the question.
Oh, good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yes.
For you in Zoom land, we were asked about censuses that had been destroyed. For the most part, we're not going to be able to give you the quick roadmap to this site if we stop for questions along the way. So please, on your handout, write and circle whatever you need to do, the question that you would like us to answer at the end of the class. But for our road tour, our quick, I don't want to say and dirty, but our rapid approach to FamilySearch, let's get started with what happens if we click on FamilySearch. And this should match your handout. FamilySearch is bold.
Once it loads.
And to orient you to your handout, this is the row of titles that you're going to see on your handout. So FamilySearch. Before we get into the tree or your exact search or anything else, we've got a whole bunch of suggestions again. We can start out asking a question or wanting to share something. We can search for an ancestor. How do we get started? If you're brand new to FamilySearch, please take time to see what they suggest. What else?
It's like a lot of it's the same that we had on the last page.
Okay, then back up to FamilySearch. And when Sylvia and I first discussed doing this class together, she said, let's skip the tree because that's what too many people think is the only thing on FamilySearch. And I said, nope, got to do the tree, but this is going to be lightning fast, so pay attention. So family tree overview.
And the reason I responded that we should just skip it is because people think the family tree has the answers for their ancestor necessarily. But if somebody made a mistake there, we don't want to duplicate that. So some of us go straight to records as opposed to looking at family trees. There's nothing wrong with looking at the family tree.
We're going to skip looking at the tree here. What else is in the overview? Again, some instructions. Start by adding what you know and connecting to your immediate ancestors. The world's largest online family tree, shared and accessible, build your, of course, everybody thinks you can build it with ease. Collaborate with others. Try it now. Is this the bottom?
Nope.
What is a family tree?
Frequently asked questions.
I reminded you, or I told you, I warned you, this is the ultimate rabbit hole. But if you don't take advantage of some of these canned presentations, canned explanations, you're not going to see the full beauty and value of FamilySearch. Yes, it's really free. Okay,
Yes,
let's
you
get
can do
back
it
up
on your
to the
phone.
tree. So, family tree is the bold title on your handout. In the drop down, now we're going to go to the tree. Sylvia, something's wrong with your computer. I do not like seeing my tree that way.
Okay, we will switch from portrait to landscape.
Did you see what she did?
We're making it,
Somebody say no.
okay, so right up, right here,
It
is
had
where
been
you switch.
portrait. Now it's landscape. Go back to portrait if that's what you like. What happens if you hit the plus tab?
It makes it bigger, which I don't want to do because I'm protecting the privacy of people who are still living. So-
All right.
But if I hit the minus, it makes it smaller.
That won't help.
No, go off another generation.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. Now,
Okay,
there you go.
Among the other options here, let's take a quick look at a fan chart, please.
because they are beautiful.
And if you're doing color coding, usually assigned to your paternal line, your maternal line, that kind of thing, FamilySearch is ready to transfer your coding to your view of FamilySearch. And again, we don't have time for all of this. Let's go back to that. Okay, we're in the tree. So here's the family tree. Here's the overview of the tree. Now I want to go to a person. Just select any person here.
We'll go to me.
Go to somebody who's dead, please.
Fine. Let's see.
She's going to click on the person. Okay, one of the main things I wanted you to know in using this big group tree, and some of you don't like the tree because other people can change it.
Mm-hmm.
This word follow says, tell me if anybody messes with this person,
Mm-hmm.
makes any change. So Sylvia, if you wanted to follow your grandmother or whoever this is, what would you do?
I would click follow, and now I'm following mom.
And she would receive an email saying a change has been made. It may not happen the same day that the change is actually made, but at least once a week, you'd be warned if somebody was adding something or changing something to a person that you are especially interested in.
And it gives you the option of contacting that person about the change they made.
So if you don't want to follow the person,
Oh, I'll follow mom. Nobody messes with her.
okay. the other thing that will help you when you're down this rabbit hole is this next option of recents.
Come on. Why is it?
Hello. Hey, Margaret. How are you? Okay, how are you?
Somebody's talking to you, Margaret.
Well, why are you not getting your
I don't know.
recents?
I think because these are the recents. Oh, there we go.
Okay, well, try again.
Well, that is one of my recents.
I want them to see the list if we can.
Oh, gotcha.
These are all of the people that she has worked with recently. And she can even go to a full page view of all of those people. So when you are working with grandma and you get sidetracked by finding out that, oh, she had a sister you didn't remember or didn't know about, you can get back to the people that you recently worked with. Okay, this is if you know what you're doing at least a little bit on the tree. Let's say you're brand new to the tree. What happens when we go to find? Now, if you are new to this, or you have just remembered that next door neighbor that you're interested in, you can search for them. Well, with the laughter, maybe it's remembering that first crush you had in grade school. You can look for someone by name. You can look by the ID number. Sylvia, try this as an ID number.
Okay.
LH, P as in Peter, number 8, dash, F as in Frank, B as in boy, 1, the number 1.
Where did you get that number, Margaret?
Well, I must have made it up. It says no results found. But that's my number.
Oh,
And
Should be found.
yeah, I am obviously still living. So just as a way of, shall I say, proving to you that they really do protect living people,
mhm.
so long as the person is identified as living. Now, if somebody comes along and says, oh, shoot, at her age, she must be gone by now, and changes me to deceased, then that would, of course, change things. But even when you know the exact number, you cannot find somebody that's living unless you created them. All right, let's back up to what we were doing here.
Want to go back one more?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume you all could fill in a person's name if you were looking for them. An approximate birth date helps. An approximate, well,
Location-ish.
location in the US versus in India or something might be a help. I don't know. So that was fine. How many people do you follow, Sylvia?
Not very many.
Evidently, they don't have next slide.
No kidding. I should have used my hotspot. It would have been a little bit quicker.
Okay, these are the people, at least the top of the list, that Sylvia has said she is interested enough in to follow and be notified of changes. She's following 13 people. we could go find out what the options are, but
That would take too much time.
takes too much time. So my contributions probably takes a lot of time too, but let's take a quick look.
I don't add a lot to FamilySearch, so my contributions are not huge on this because I keep my trees separate.
How does it handle different spellings?
You would want to use, the question was, how does it handle different spellings? And you're going to want to use the spelling that's on a record. So, if you're working from memory, that's one thing. But if you have a record, if you have, say, a naturalization document that you're the only holder of, you're going to want to use the name spelling exactly as it is there. And it will allow you to do a fuzzy search to merge, like to search on those names, knowing there's variations in spellings.
Let's go back to find and try a name
Okay.
and try one that might come up with some variations, if you would.
Okie doke. I just did that earlier today.
Just as a sample on this one, because it's going to apply to everybody. So she's going to search by name. So Alexander McGee.
But you're going to get others as well. Because we've got MacGees, we've got McKees, but we've got 245 pages. We don't have time to browse through those. But
So the computer will do some guessing for names. If you know that you have a unique spelling on a document, you may have to help the computer along a little bit.
which you do by clicking this button right here next to the name. So if you know you have a document in there that you have seen that has an exact spelling, you can click that and say, this is the exact spelling I want. And it's going to narrow that 233,000 down for you to maybe 2 or 3.
Use some middle names and basic married names versus.
Oh,
Right. So the question is about using married names versus middle names, those types of things. It doesn't hurt to put all the information in there. Using a middle name is potentially going to give you more matches, but it may help narrow down your matches more accurately as well. Maiden names, you definitely want to use them if you can for females.
but having entered the maiden name for a female, scroll down in this right-hand column a little bit, add a family member. By adding the spouse, therefore with the married name, it will give you some more connections.
Which helps
But-
narrow it down.
We're probably already behind. Where are we on the tree? Okay. For now, we're going to consider ourselves done with the family tree. I guarantee you there are hour-long webinars, blog posts, guides from FamilySearch itself, whole printed books on using the family tree in FamilySearch. But now we're going to go to the search word.
Which is on the top of page 2. And then these are the different drop downs that you'll find underneath that search.
So Sylvia, go for it.
Okay. So going through, as soon as it loads, going through the search, goodness gracious, this is slow. Looks very similar to the tree or the page that we were on before. This is where you actually will search for historical records. So, again, the more information, the more accurate the information, the better your search is going to be.
And Sylvia, I just pointed out that there are tips for what to enter to get the most value from your search.
I don't think we should have time to look for that
No,
right now,
but-
but it is there. Yes, absolutely.
That's
We're
what
just
your
pointing
blank
things out.
handout is for, if you like the idea of going further.
And I think it is important to show them more options because you can add, again, all those different kinds of things, spouses, mothers, fathers, siblings, which again will narrow down your search. And Margaret, you jump in whenever you want to because I'm going to.
Oh, I will.
I know you will, which is good. One of my favorite things to look at, because FamilySearch, during COVID especially, they scanned in a ton of documents around the world, and they are what's called unindexed right now. They're working on indexing all of those, but they are still accessible through FamilySearch.
So just a minute, Sylvia.
Uh-huh.
The records that we looked at first, have those all been indexed?
Correct.
Which means you can search by name. Here on the images, you see it doesn't even ask for a name.
Yeah. And you see how the number is going up constantly? It's because they continue scanning things in all the time. So if you are looking for something in an area that you've not found, keep checking, set a trigger for yourself like once a month to go in and look because they're always adding new records.
And if you have nothing else to do, you can help index.
I was just gonna ask you.
You absolutely can.
Yeah,
They love it.
We'll show that to you in a couple minutes. Just
Yes.
realize what has happened because of indexing.
So moving on, we're going to go searching the family tree because again, this is a one world tree is what they call it, or I don't know if they still call it that, but at one time they did because we're all related, it may be 40 generations back, but we're all related in one way or another. So you can actually search for people on the tree, which is going to give you clues about your own ancestry. If somebody made a mistake, don't duplicate that. But it's a good clue that's going to help you. So this looks very similar to where we were before. Search by a name, search by an ID. So there's multiple ways to get to any of these different searches.
And there's multiple ways to get to anything on this wonderful site. So if you know a different way, fine, good for you. We're going to show you one way to find things.
Now we're going to go to search genealogies. And notice you can do it through this dropdown, but the exact same thing is here. And what genealogies are, if you don't want somebody messing with your genealogy, you can download a family tree from somewhere else and upload it, and it will be your tree only. Other people may be able to see it, but nobody else can change it. So that's the beauty of the genealogies tab on here, and it's relatively new.
Are you going to cover anything on the side of the application?
For the sake of getting through this, the rest of us who may have questions, we stop taking questions until we're through.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, if you can jot.
Talking about search, right?
Right. Yeah, so let's try to hold the questions till the end. So maybe jot it down just so we can get through everything that needs to be gone through. Or you can search the catalog, which is where you can search all kinds of different things. Primarily, the catalog is the books that are there, but some of them have been digitized and are fully downloadable at home. So it's worth looking at this to find out what kinds of resources they have that are not necessarily, microfilmed and available here. So that's a good resource. They also have a search for books. This is their digital library. So this is another great place to look for things, books that are related to where your family lived or to your individual family members. And again, I've downloaded entire books from home because these books are available. They're not under copyright any longer. So you can download those books fully to your computer. And there's the wiki, which is come on, wiki. Which is a wonderful resource that everybody should be aware of, because if I'm researching somebody in Greece and I don't know much about Greek research, you type Greece in here and it's going to give you the information you need to know about researching in Greece, where the databases are, where the records are lost, where the records are retained. those types of things.
Why don't you just put a name in there?
You know, because it's not for names, it's for places and topics, Margaret.
But there's some neat stuff in addition to whatever you ask for here in this left-hand column. For example, guided research
Whoops, it's still there.
and research resources. But stop for a minute, Sylvia, on the FamilySearch library. Now scroll down a little bit and go to collections. Explore, search our catalogs. Unbeknownst to many of us, they have two of them. The old catalog that you may be familiar with, the standard one, has not been updated since September of 2022 because it's gotten so big, because the technology has changed so much. They are creating a new FamilySearch catalog. We are now in a site for the FamilySearch library. And that we gave you a connection to that on your handout. It's under the catalog itself. But because you can find it for yourself in the Research Wiki, I wanted to show you another way to get to that new library.
And just so you can see kind of what's there. If you ever are not sure which site you're on, look at your taskbar at the top. If you're in familysearch.org/en/library, that means you're in the new one. That's the one that's fully updated. The older one is a great place to do your research, but it's not where you look for some of the different items. And I think it's nice that they have, you know, which one should I use? So, you know, browse around these when you're, you know, sitting at home in your pajamas.
Hopefully you can go back and be where we were on the FamilySearch.org site. I didn't think about distracting the connection that you're showing everybody. Shame on me.
That's okay. We'll get there one way or the other. Okay. I'm going.
We're still at the library.
Yes. We're going back that way.
Okay, so there's some specific goodies in this left-hand column, and there's all kinds of place-specific information when you identify a place.
So if I put in Longmont, Colorado, it gives me all kinds of information about where to look for resources in Longmont, Boulder County, Colorado. You know, these are all set up differently, but they all have information that's available that can be really helpful. Burlington. So anything else you want to talk about here, Margaret?
I think that'll have to cover us for now. The cemetery listing is brand new. What's in that? Brand new. The last 2 or 3 months, I
Yes,
think.
relatively speaking. So you can do a cemetery search within that.
By location, by name. You can take a look at famous ones.
Canadian cemeteries. We ready to move on to memories?
Sounds good to me. I don't know if you caught it, but back in the tree, when you were on the person page, there was a option for memories. And yet we're finding memories now out here on this big main search bar. I don't know if it has a name of its own. The difference. Let's take a look at Sylvia's memories.
I don't think I have any memories in here.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll bet you do.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Are these people you know?
They are. These are memories others have about your family. So these are not things I added. These are things that other people have added to people I'm related to. They're all deceased.
And this use of memories goes to anybody in the tree. The memories word, when you're in the tree looking at a person, those memories are only for that person. So the difference is whether you want to focus on the individual memories or look at everything. And as per usual, it's got helpers. If you're new to using memories, let's see, Sylvia, what can we can keep photographs, of course. We can keep documents. We can keep an audio tape. Don't you wish you had an audio of your parents or grandparents? Have you made one? Has somebody interviewed you? What else can we keep?
You know, we could scan in a page of a diary. We could type in a personal memory about somebody.
We could write a story.
We could write a story. We can do anything we like.
I think they do not yet have the capability of keeping videos. I'm not certain about that, but if they can't do it today, they're working on it. So come back soon.
Yes.
So having asked for memories, we've looked at the overview, the gallery, the people, and the find. The find is again going to be putting in a particular name, except you can also find, you can have applied a topic tag to a memory. If you're famous in the kitchen and you have been collecting recipes from your ancestors, you might have a topic tag of recipes or kitchen or whatever. You might have created a topic tag that would have homes, the buildings where you used to live, where anybody used to live.
Of a family reunion of a certain year. So you can pick your own tags.
Make it your own, whatever interests you the most. So memories, let's get involved. We're not really involved yet.
Okay, let's get involved.
For the record, Sylvia, that slowdown is FamilySearch. It's not your computer.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought it was the Wi-Fi here.
And I thought it was my computer at home, even with Nextlight. So thank you, Bobski.
Yeah, it's definitely FamilySearch.
Okay.
So have you been heard to Zoomland?
Pardon?
Has your explanation been heard on Zoom?
No.
Yes.
We'll let them know.
Well,
They said
think
yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, they heard it.
Okay. Just a quick look at opportunities.
This is where you're going to do things like volunteer to index things, but there's lots of other opportunities to volunteer.
That's what you've done. This is what's available. Try a guided tour of indexing, how it works. Do you really want to try this? Try it out. You can just review names. That's less than full indexing. And how many of you speak a foreign language? We've got a couple of maybe hands. You're particularly valuable. because you can help index, you can help confirm writing that for us, American know nothing else type people, we're not familiar with. So you are particularly valuable.
And but we had gotten to the bottom. That's all they had under opportunities, which I think is interesting.
Okay. Your impact again, what
We
you've
already
been
did
doing,
that.
and then the specific of indexing. Once you've started indexing, you'll be assigned a batch, a particular type of thing to work on. But,
You have so long to do that.
Yes.
okay, and there's been a comment that there is a time limit, but it's fairly generous. They don't expect you to spend 24 hours a day on it, but they do. You're the only one working with this batch. So they do want you to remember that you offered to do it.
Margaret, that's not correct.
Oh,
There's
all right.
actually 2 people working on each batch of an indexing project. So they'll send you a part of the database, they'll send somebody else part of the database. You'll both do it independently, and then they compare the results. And if there's any discrepancy, a third party will check it to see how, who's correct. And maybe they can't determine who's correct, but they actually have 2 people doing each set of records before they call them finalized as an index.
All right, that's good to know. Let's
Not much else down there.
activities can be the fun one. FamilySearch, as was mentioned at the top, has been created by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And one of their goals is to get your family involved. And so they have helped kind of lead the way on how to recruit more members of your family, interest them. So this is the for fun section.
Mhm. Where do you want to start?
Where do we start? I'm going to guess that we're more interested in knowing
The
who
famous
we're related
relatives.
to.
They are very fun. It's like, look at all my presidents. And Elvis Presley is down here, and scientist.
No, he's not a scientist, he's an entertainer.
Don't make me laugh.
I have 25 presidents. How many do you have?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't count them.
Well, we don't have
There's a
time.
bunch.
The longer your family line has been in this country, the more likely you are to have a number of presidents. Doesn't mean a darn thing about your background or theirs, but that's how you get a bunch of them.
And there's always the possibility that it's not accurate, because again, if somebody made a mistake in their family tree that connected that individual to my ancestor, it's a possibility it's not correct. But isn't it fun to explore
if you go
that?
back 10 or 12 generations, heck, that's the whole purpose of this big tree. We're connected to everybody. But Sylvia mentioned Elvis Presley down in the entertainment
Oh, yeah.
section. Where is
Let's
Elvis
see,
Presley?
he's down here somewhere. There's Elvis.
Let's take a look at him for a minute.
What's the purpose of all this that you're doing?
So what was the question again?
So of this, what you're doing?
Aren't you having fun? It may be a way to, it may be a way to attract other people that,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, yes, and we can answer it more fully at the end.
Sylvia is connected to Elvis Presley as an 8th cousin once removed.
So all the way
I'm
up to the
connected
top.
to Elvis Presley as a 9th cousin once removed. So that doesn't mean that we're related. But if you go back far enough and trace down through all of the trees, some people find it fun. Sorry if it's not for you. Let's,
That's okay.
what are some of the other activities we can do, Sylvia?
Okay, let's see.
Activities, where are my funds?
Surname origins is a very, good one as far as, especially if you have naming variations, it can be really helpful to get some of those different spelling variations so you understand, why you're not finding your person. So say if I'm going to put Mickey back in there. So Irish variant of Mickey gives you lots of information as to where you might find that name. So if you aren't sure, it's a good place to kind of start looking.
Compare a face, please.
Okay. It is a fun one.
But only if you've entered pictures.
It's true.
And Sylvia May has said she hasn't entered many.
Yes.
Compare it to Elvis.
No.
I don't know that it works that way, Diana.
But if I had put a picture in here, which I haven't, but I would basically say begin. I would take a photo, upload a photo. Oh, look, I have a photo in there. It's like,
Sure.
I'm afraid to use it. We'll see who it comes up with. Oh my gosh, there's my rose. Really, it gives me one. Oh wait, there's more. Let's see.
Well, and you can switch it between my family and
Oh, and celebrities, that's true. It's like, I know I'm.
That's kind of like Photoshop organizer.
Mm-hmm.
and back on that big memories tab, you can do all kinds of things. If you're one of these people that has acquired 10 boxes of goodies from your mother after she died and you don't know what the heck to do with it, start scanning it, put it into memories, attach a name to it. You can end up with albums of everything connected to this one name. You can turn those 10 boxes of miscellaneous papers into usable digital files using the memory tab.
That's a pretty cool match.
Yeah, it's like
You're a
I'm.
pretty cool person.
I know. It's like I love Jane Austen. I'm 31%. So it's like really I'm 31% matched to almost any female in Britain ever. But that's okay. I will take Jane Austen. It came from images of.
Safe.
I don't.
No,
I don't know.
FamilySearch did.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't.
It's in the big tree.
Yeah, I didn't
You
do
don't
this.
take any information on your computer.
No.
No.
Correct. You cannot download it to your computer. It's part of their.
In fact, that you search, that search is remembered.
Right.
You have to
And-
say,
Bobski's reminding us we're not
To repeat
repeating the questions.
Yes.
Let's go on to record a story,
Because that's a good one.
because if you have not started writing your story, they've got a whole bunch of hints. So let's just say I want to brag first. What can I do with goals and accomplishments? Look at all of these questions that can start a story. And at the very end, if you don't see something that seems to fit, just start recording.
Mhm.
Go wherever you want to go. Let's look at another topic quick. So back one. Still in the record my story, but I want to see. Let's look at general questions. Who's your best friend? Who's someone in history you would like to be friends with? So like I say, if you haven't started writing, this gives you a bunch of good starting points.
And if you're trying to get somebody in your family to write their story, this is a really good place to get them started on, writing things. Because my husband is filled with stories, but will he write them down? Nope.
Voice recorder.
Voice recorder, absolutely. Let's see. Do you want to do the?
Well, I
Anything
don't
else?
remember what picture my heritage is, or maybe it wasn't on the list the last time I looked.
Yeah, I think it's been there for a little while. Picture My Heritage is, you know, I look like an English person. So,
Oh, yes. Yes, you must be able to insert your face in somebody else's costume.
yes, so
Yeah, I forgot that. I
so
don't
great
like that
fun,
one.
a good way to get kids excited about it or grandkids excited about doing genealogy.
So
Where do we want to go next?
can we go back? There was one more item.
Oh.
Oh, it's in-home activities.
Oh, sorry. I'll be there in a minute.
You can talk any more about security too.
We can talk about security at the end. I'm going to jot that down so we don't forget to address that issue because that's a great point. Which one were you looking for, Margaret?
I don't care.
Any
It's
of them?
just the idea that there are a bunch of things, again, aimed at you working with your family. It doesn't do you a whole lot of good to have collected all of this information if you don't share it. If you don't get a family member at least interested enough to kind of want to take over. I mean, let's face it, we're not all going to be here forever to provide information to anybody that wants to know about my family. So get other people involved.
Mhm.
And now I think we're ready. We're done with the left half of the tab, and we're going to find out what all of these icons are over on the right-hand side. Bobski?
We have a question. What about how to merge individuals?
That is a very detailed part of where's the whole, it's part of family tree. We don't begin to have time to deal with it. There's a whole class on merging individuals. They're improving the format so we can compare more before we make the commitment of merging someone. We're gonna, if you don't leave here with a way of learning more about this site, shame on us, and we'll try to change that problem.
And we'll try to have time to answer the merging question at the end. It's not super difficult.
You're braver than I am.
I am.
So we're looking at this first exclamation point on locations. And we have told you in your handout that the closest family search center is down in Louisville.
It goes on.
A long time ago.
Longmont closed, yes,
Yeah, even before COVID.
correct. Longmont is closed, but the Longmont Public Library is an affiliate library, which when you go to the library and use FamilySearch on the library computer, will give you or use your computer to connect to the library Wi-Fi. It'll give you access to more records than you can see at home.
And that's what this map is showing you. So basically I'm zooming in, but this is showing all the different locations of family search centers.
Yeah, there's the Family
And
Search
there's the
Center.
Longmont Library is red. It says Family Search Affiliate, and it's 0.11 miles away from us. So super easy to find out where they are. Even if you're traveling, you can easily find out if there's a Family Search Center close by.
So
Is that it's across the world. So Family Search does, so the question is, Family Search is the one that sponsors it. So the question was, is that a state thing? And it's really by Family Search, and they are a worldwide organization. So they have Family Search sites all over the world. and you could see how many there were in our state. Nope,
They're free.
totally free.
Who pays?
It's only the LDS church.
So where in the world do we want to go?
Let's see, give me a country. Netherlands. Oops.
I'm not looking for family search locations. I meant to go out here to the next icon.
Oh. Fine.
If you're searching for a family search center when you're visiting in New York or something, you may want to remember this.
We'll come back to Netherlands though, because that's a fun one.
I know we're running out of time, so,
You know, we're not even in an hour yet. We're fine.
oh, but we've got all these questions.
That's okay.
Let's get to the world, the globe.
That's where we are right now. So the globe is allowing us to change languages.
And now let's try the Netherlands.
Okay.
They spell it funny.
Spelled their way, not our
Yes.
way.
And now we are searching in Netherlands speak, because I don't even know what it's called.
Well, and
Yes.
if you want to learn how to speak a foreign language, just say that you want to pretend you're in China or something, and you can learn to, it'll show you all of the hieroglyphics
Yes.
that are their language.
And note that it says up here, Google Translate is on my computer. So it's in Dutch, but I can switch it to English. So it'll allow me to search in Dutch in the Netherlands, but I can switch it back and forth using my computer, but I can also obviously go back to this globe and go back to English.
And now, one of my new favorites after I learned about it, the question mark with the circle around it is becoming a universal symbol. You'll see it on other sites, but that means help. So let's take a look at what kind of help we can get.
All kinds of help. How to do family
You
history.
can ask a question. You can get to help from any place on the website. So if you were in the tree looking at a person and you realized there was a duplicate, you could go to help and say, how do I merge these duplicate people? Right while you're in the person page. You can get help for whatever you're trying to do. So there's how to get started. We haven't talked much about feedback, but nearly everybody has a listing on the left-hand side written vertically for feedback. And they really would like to hear from you. If this page of this site is not working for you, if it doesn't make sense, tell them, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Explain your problem. Give them a chance to make it better. Them being the people in Salt Lake City. Down here on the bottom are four
Excuse me.
Sylvia Cole are super helpful things. Please go to Help and Learning. Find help by topic for doing anything on Family Tree, for working with memories, searching with records, DNA. FamilySearch does not do DNA testing, but they are increasingly helping you understand your DNA test and learning to use it. The Family Search Centers, again, the get involved. We know that means if you want to help with indexing. Let's come down a little. Ooh, what about this learning from experts? How many of you knew about the Roots Tech Conference this spring or this late winter? Oh,
Roots Tech, right.
hundreds of programs on almost any topic you can think of and in many different languages. Frequently asked questions. Come on down a little further. Okay, here's some changes that they're making on the tree. We will continue to see changes. Don't let it disturb you. Just tell yourself they're making it better.
Mhm.
And the changes that I have seen recently give you a period of a couple of months to work with the old way or the new way. So if you have any problems, actually I have not. The new way is such a slight variation, but again, the overload on the computer system, the changes of technology, they're having to upgrade, and we're going to continue to see changes. But I love the self-help resources. We liked that part of the wiki, finding help by topic or location. Oh, there's a blog. We can browse articles. And again, any country in the world, any topic you might be interested in. Build skills, make progress. Let's take a look at that.
Yes, because they have a ton of
This
videos.
is coming from the Learning Center. So they've got getting started classes. What kinds of instructional resources do they have? Again, family tree essentials. Various things. I'm not finding the one I wanted.
Of course not.
I don't want to go to Norway and I don't want to go to 227 more pages. So hopefully we'll find this in another way. What happens if you go back one? Okay.
Which one were you looking for?
Well, I thought there was a lead to webinars from here, but we'll find it someplace else if we have to. What are these? So many ways to get distracted. Rabbit hole syndrome.
Yes.
Helpful articles and tips. Okay, we've been here. Are we at the bottom? Ah,
Classes and videos.
let's try this one. Let's find a class in the webinar.
Do you want one on Norway?
Sure.
Is that what I heard?
Although it's taken us back to the wiki rather than a schedule of
Oh.
classes. Let's see. In order to view past webinars, click here.
You have more classes.
So just dazzle us for a moment. These are things that have been presented in English about these different countries. And this is the title of the program.
And these
You
are all
can-
clickable links, so it takes you directly to the recorded video.
And you can put yourself on a mail list to be notified of upcoming webinars. Those will be live where you can ask questions of the presenter of the webinar. These are our videos, and there's hundreds of them.
Mhm. Oh, look, there's some in Chinese. So every language, every type of class you might want to get. Some of them are longer, some of them are 15 minutes. So
if we go to the help, the help. Because there's more on that page yet.
come on. It's not liking help from here. There we go. And what did you want help with?
I want to look at all 4 of these bottom words. Go to community next.
Okay, doke.
You can ask a question. You can get community news. This is updates of what some of the new things are that they're showing us, or saying the new source linker is now the permanent source linker. What's in groups?
Groups is wonderful because groups, I could work with my sisters and we can all share memories about our family together, so we can become a group.
You can also attach yourself to a group that doesn't have anything to do with your family because you've been adopted, or because you want to know more about this family name, or doing research in the Atlantic states, or maybe in Canada or the British. Hey, even Sylvia might learn something from the British Isles.
I might.
She's president of WISE, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, and England. So she's
All
done a
4
lot of
countries.
work with English records. So some of these are kind of family groups. Some of these are big. I suppose the online people can't tell that I circled this Cedar Park State, Texas family history. There's only 20 people in the group, but the Czech research, there's 542 people involved in the group. And I suspect you could get translation help here if you needed it. This goes down, we're only at the D's in alphabetical order. So you get a hint of how much more there is.
Sound locked?
The question was, those aren't locked, and you're right, they're not locked. You can join a group.
Some of them might be. Some of them might consider that they're full enough. They can't handle more people at this time. Maybe we have to go to the help sign again to get where I want to be.
Yep, I think we need to. I
Oh.
think it logged me out too. So, but we can go back here.
Yeah, this will probably work. Contact us.
Sylvia,
Yes.
you may want to go up to one of the tabs we have at the open at the top.
Uh-huh.
Scroll down from contact us. In-person help. You can sign up for a 20-minute one-on-one consultation free of charge. You're asked what you want to. Sharon, is that wrong?
I asked for help, and the help I got was not what I wanted or needed, and later somebody else got the same help and did it.
Okay.
They weren't even related to me.
One person in the group has had experience with this personal help. It wasn't successful the first time, but somebody else was more successful. In other words, the person on the other end doesn't know everything either. And if you don't get a help
too, they answered the phone.
if you don't get help the first time, you can sign up again next week. 20-minute consultation, free, once a week.
I asked 3 separate times.
Okay.
Oh no, every time.
The variation in this personal help. If you have a DNA question, they give you 40 minutes. Now, I can't explain it. That's just what I have observed. And if you want to find in-person help, you're going to be asked, well, I don't even know what this DNA is all about. I need to understand the terminology. In other words, I'm really a newbie with DNA compared to, I think there's 3 or 4 categories that you can ask for help with, specifically DNA. Obviously, they want to help you get started. In a dozen different places, they've offered you help to get started. What's under additional resources? Oh, even more places we can go. We can go looking for more information. So if you go back to this tab, is this maybe going to have you connected?
Oh, I'm connected.
Oh, okay. What does this funny little symbol mean? The 2 talk boxes like you see in cartoons. Click on that and see,
there we
there's
go.
that feedback opportunity. This time it's on the far right-hand side. Usually it's on the left. I cannot well explain this chat option, but people have, unbeknownst to me, been sending me chats for I don't know how long. And I didn't know about it because I didn't go look at that 2 talking box symbol. You don't get notified by email if somebody has sent you a chat. It usually comes about because, oh, Linda says, you are my closest probably relative. If people see your name as having attached a source, maybe they want to disagree with you, maybe they want to ask more questions. There are places throughout this website where you can send a chat, but I wasn't using them and I didn't think about other people using them. So I would encourage you, especially if there's a red dot by that 2, can you point to it with your mouse for
I
Zoom land
can.
as well? Yeah, that symbol is worth checking every once in a while.
And I wanted to point out while we have this, had that open, it has this thing, FamilySearch Chat Basics. So it's just a really quick tutorial on why you want to use that. So
I could learn what I'm talking about.
anything else on
Notice the nice little red dot on the bell over here, Sylvia. What's that telling you?
That's telling me that I have something new to look at. Show all my notifications.
But
I have a ton.
notifications, I think, do get sent to your email box. And seems like every Sunday they like sending out a message that, hey, we've been looking for people that were born in the month of June, people that are close, are connected to me in the big tree, or we've been looking for marriages, or we think we have some new sources for you. I haven't yet found that they know anything that I don't know for those notifications, but they do. Notifications, you do have the option of saying, yes, I want to hear from FamilySearch, or no, take me off your list. So where do we get maybe general?
Is that what you? Oh, look, at
Oh,
1646
I know
months to
where it
connect.
is.
That's my husband.
Oh, well, surely we don't need a connection there.
No,
I don't know what that is either. But I do know that over here under Sylvia's name, click on that.
oh, look, settings, family groups.
Yep.
This is where you control your notifications, all your private information.
So here's the notifications. She could unsubscribe from these various types of messages. She has said that she wants to receive notifications in English.
That's all of that.
As you can tell, I at least don't understand everything I have shown you, meaning I haven't gone down that individual rabbit hole. I have a 3-inch binder here with handouts from various webinars that I've attended that might be able to answer some questions. I think we're through with what I intended us to cover today. What I
think so,
intended to
too.
give you is a roadmap to finding all of this. So remember, the bold text on your handout means
These up
this
here.
row of instructions. And then the words written underneath that are options when you have gone to that particular tab.
And remember, these are options that were a snapshot of the day we created this, because they're always adding new things and sometimes taking things away. So if it doesn't jive tomorrow, that's why, not our fault.
So, Jay, we've got
We have good time.
45 minutes that we can deal with questions. And just to be contrary, Nick, are there any chat questions on Bobski's computer? He disappeared on us for a minute.
Yes, there are a couple.
And they are,
Well, one is, if I have a living family member after I'm gone, will that member be able to update our family information?
of course, because anybody can put anything on the tree. Sylvia, how more to answer that?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Anybody, because this is a publicly open tree.
Remember, they said a living family member.
But a living family member about a deceased person, right?
If I add a living family member
Uh-huh,
after I am gone,
uh-huh.
will that member be able to update the information?
Well,
Yes.
The answer is no, because you added the person, they're living, only you can see that person.
But if that person has their own login and they log in, they can go in and change whatever they
yeah,
want.
but they're not on the tree yet because they're living.
Would they be
You know,
creating a new
just
one?
like you couldn't
No, I'm
find
on
me.
the tree.
You're on your tree.
I'm on the tree. People
No,
just can't
You
see
are
me.
on your tree. I
Mm.
Your
cannot see you.
branch. I can't.
But I'm
see you.
still there.
If you die, nobody can change that version of you.
Not
Thank-
true.
Wait a second. I
That's
got-
true.
Not
Can
true.
Somebody can view, like on Ancestry, my daughter can inherit my account.
Can
Did-
that be on
did-
family?
it's-
No.
Can somebody inherit our account has been the question. And to be perfectly honest, I have tried asking this question because there's a lot of confusion about it and I don't have a good answer. And I guess I'll have to leave it at that. I hear what Mick has said, although the Zoom people maybe did not, that living people are only visible in the tree for people who created that living person. Now, I know that I, as a living person, Sharon, I'll get your information in a minute. I know I'm on the big tree 4 or 5 times because my sons are there, at least one granddaughter is there, at least one sister-in-law has apologized because she put me in the tree. You know, I was already there umpteen times. Sharon, you're saying no.
My grandson was not on my tree and he put something there. That was interesting. I left it there, but he wasn't on my tree. So how did he do that?
Okay, so a grandson entered something about you,
No.
clearly a living person.
No, he entered something about somebody else, but it was on my tree that he did it.
Okay, was it a deceased person? Any deceased person is in that big group
Okay.
world tree.
It might have been.
Now, Sylvia, would you go back to the very first family search, please?
Are we answering this question?
I'm going to show you a new option that I can't fully answer because of various reasons. Let's come down to the experimental labs. View experiments.
Margaret Halsey is the one that asked that question, and you might ask them if they want to expand on it, because she can talk to us.
Okay. Let me see the available experiments. I want to point out something that everybody can experiment with.
That's not a clickable link.
Well, how do we lose that?
No, it's sexually, that's not.
I think you have to sign up for.
I think you need the feedback button.
No, that's feedback from something that we're seeing. Anyhow, one of the experiments is a new group tree that allows me to coordinate with other living members. I set one up. Sylvia has set a couple of them up. I invited 4 family members and nobody responded. So I haven't been able to experiment with that new feature. It was announced at Roots Tech last February, whenever. In other words, there's still lots of things that many of us need to learn. And if Margaret Halsey knows a particular, if she can answer the question that she asked, that would be great, or we will continue to explore. Was there another question from chat?
No, that was it.
Yeah.
That was one about merging.
Oh,
No.
yeah, merging people.
Yeah, and I don't know that we can get into that. Carol?
Not what you just said about one experiment, you set up a tree and give people you know who are related to the opportunity to add to it. The only people who can add to it are the people you invite.
Yes. And the complication on that is, of course, those have to be living people. And we don't need, I don't know that we can put the same resource on living people in half a dozen different trees. I'm not sure how that works. That's another thing I wanted to experiment with. I'm going to ask a test. We've seen on here several times, but can anybody direct me to how to get a mobile app? Where did we see it on the screen? And if anybody in Zoom land remembers,
I was gonna ask you about it.
oh, good. Catherine, what do you want to know?
Well, my brother has the mobile app on his phone. Oh, yes. And I was wondering, I realize it's related to his tree, that mobile app, the connection.
Okay,
If, can I use his log on? Or his tree for my mobile app?
Do you want to repeat what she said?
You should, do you understand what I'm
I
saying?
do, yeah.
for those of you using cell phones, if you understand all of it, Sylvia, repeat. But go to FamilySearch and go clear to the bottom for me, if you will, while you're
So-
repeating Catherine's question.
As the question was, your brother has a FamilySearch app, but he's LDS. His you can't use the same account, but you can use the same app because it's still that one world tree. It's not his tree, it's the tree.
Except
It
that
goes-
you have to
The
be,
thing goes off when he's near a relative.
Yes, so does mine,
Okay,
if I have it open.
so like.
Scroll
can I
down.
Somehow use his,
no,
so, because we're the same relatives, because he's my old brother.
oh, and it
Because-
isn't even on this screen.
Of course.
Try
Where
this.
was it? I saw-
Yeah, we've all seen it. Where is it?
Can't you go to the app store?
Oh,
Absolutely.
hey, you go to the App Store, but let's go to help and ask them about a mobile app. Go.
Come on.
Because I remember one time we were somewhere, he lives in Nevada, and his phone went off and he goes, looks around.
That's right. Who am I related to? Do it at the LDS library or the FamilySearch library.
Phone will alert you if there is someone in the room who is related to you.
If you have
Yes.
that thing open at the time. So I don't keep mine open all the time, but yeah, if we all had it on our phones.
I wanted to be sure that all of you knew about this because the Longmont Genealogical Society at its July member meeting, that's the second Wednesday in July, we meet at the First Lutheran Church and we're going to play with this.
Oh,
We're going to find out how many relatives we have within the society.
yeah, because.
Attending that meeting.
Uh-huh.
So mobile app, what is it going to tell us?
So it tells us all this down here. Actually, let's make it bigger.
That'll be fun.
So
If you have any of these types of phones, you can download the app.
Oh, okay.
So please download the FamilySearch mobile app to your cell phone. Attend our meeting on July 12th. And we'll find out who we're related to. Oh, you have to not only have the phone, but then be connected to your person in the tree. You know, you sign into the tree.
Yeah.
So-
I can't use my brother's tree.
You can use his tree because you are on his tree.
No, she may not be. She's living.
Even if you're living, you're on the tree.
We're gonna find out more on July 12th. Come with us. Bobski.
We have another question.
Family trees.
And we have some questions in the room too, so let's kind of go back and forth so we don't, so go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Bobski, you hold.
Didn't know, you were pointing the same direction.
I was, like, sorry. Go ahead.
Trying to understand this family tree.
Uh-huh.
If I create a family tree, putting in all the relatives that I'm aware of,
Mm-hmm.
my ancestors as well as my sisters, brothers,
Right.
cousins.
Well,
Uh-huh.
here's,
Can
okay,
I
if you
then
want to join.
generate a document, a printed copy or a file that
This has
starts
a,
at any name?
you can
generates
find
a
us
family
online, but we
tree
don't
going
take
up
money online
or
yet. So here's how you
down
can
on
join.
any name?
And we'd
So
like to
I
have
don't know that they have oh, so the question is, I keep
If
forgetting to
you've got
repeat the
a
question.
chance
So the
to-
question is, if he adds his family to the family search tree, then can he then print something that's both an ascendancy chart of his descendants, but also a descendant chart of an individual and who all's descended from them?
Any person in the chart.
And that I'm not sure they do
I think they-
descendancy charts.
That's called a bow tie chart.
It's
Well,
not,
The fan chart shows descendant at least one generation
it shows our ancestors.
and at least one generation of descendants if you've added them.
Yeah, but that's not what he's saying. If you want to go to
If I
somebody
have that
100
chart,
years ago. Oh, look, descendancy. They do. Never mind.
But he wants to know,
I
if
want
he
to
can
pick,
print it.
pick any name in
Uh-huh.
there and then create a
A
ancestry
chart. Yes.
So
or descent.
go into you or your husband.
Yes. And then go back a couple of
Go-
generations and then do
okay.
a descendancy.
Another resource that the Longmont Genealogical Society provides is a family search special interest group. That's abbreviated SIG. We meet the first Thursday evening of the month. All we talk about is family search. And we do it on Zoom. The first Thursday of July is firecracker night. So I don't think we're going to be meeting on the 4th of July, but we will be the first Thursday of August. You can go to our website, and if any of you do not have information about the society, we want to give it to you. You can sign up to be on the mail list to receive the Zoom codes and a reminder about that family search SIG. Gail?
So
What
while
you wanna
so this is the descendancy chart
ask
from
these
my
out so
great
that
great
people can work
grandfather.
on them?
So basically I've picked him as my person and I've
Okay.
said descendancy chart and I could print this.
Okay, so.
So how can you print it?
Learning how to do.
Click that little down. No, that's not how it is. Let's see, click this. It's like, there's a way to do this, I know.
So go to George as a person. Go to person. And now this right-hand column from the person page, scroll down, 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 and in the tools, we get print options.
But that's not going to do the descendancy chart that we wanted.
Well,
Can I suggest something, Sylvia? Go
Yes,
back to
please.
go back to your descendancy chart and then
Uh-huh.
the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of your window there. There
Oh,
you go.
that's true. It's
Go to
not
print.
right. It's not the tidiest print version, but it will it will work.
Yeah. And I've done that, and sometimes it'll actually, suddenly something will open up and say, did you want to print this tree? But it didn't do it for you, so, but
If
that's.
you
one way.
do the control P to ask it to print, it'll
Yeah, I
say,
did that too.
oh, we've got some print options that might work better.
Yeah, that control P will also work. See what happens when you do control P.
Right,
Yeah, see, that's not too bad.
How many generations you want to show.
right.
Well, and you'll just have to experiment with it. Yes, it'll work, but all of the details you may have to play with.
Is there a help guide that to learn about using the application?
Yes,
Absolutely.
and you can also, the question was, is there a help guide to help with the printing and things? And
Well,
yeah,
with anything.
with
to deal
anything.
with that.
And yeah, it's that help button, and you can always do, that can be one of your 20-minute consultations, is help me understand how to do a descendancy chart from my 5th great grandfather with everybody that's related to him, type of thing.
The other question is on security.
Right, so let's do Bobski's question, the online question really quick, and then we'll come back to security. We've got some other questions in the room.
Can we talk about the genealogies tab a little more? So,
The genealogies tab.
right,
So under the search, that one?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think so.
assume that, yeah.
Yeah, so this genealogy,
it's the one
ahead.
where you said you could add your own tree that no one else can change.
right.
That's what I wanted to know more about.
So this is, so you can search for, so say if you had a tree that you had put in here, or somebody had put in here, you could look by a surname or by a location. So, yeah, let's do Telemark Norway.
Did I misunderstand it? I thought maybe you said that no one could touch it. You could
They
put a
can,
tree-
but they can view it and they can collaborate on it. So they can't make changes to your tree.
Okay,
So basically you're downloading a GEDCOM from Ancestry, MyHeritage, wherever you've
Your
created
personal
a
software.
tree, and you upload it here, and people can view it if you give them permission. My guess is you have some controls. I haven't tried this.
okay.
So you may be able to have it hidden or something, or maybe able to limit collaboration, but people can see it. They can't change it, unlike the FamilySearch tree.
So
That's the
Got it.
difference.
Diana Barra, that's your homework. Explore a little bit for us. Come to the FamilySearch SIG in August and tell us what you've learned. We had a question here in the room.
Yes.
Yes, if you go back to the very beginning, when you start on FamilySearch, there was a screen that asked you, do you want to proceed with Facebook, Google, or do you want to go to your account? What's the advantage or disadvantage of using those?
That's a,
It makes your sign in easier, I think.
so, but yeah, let's repeat the question.
I know the answer.
Okay, so Bobski, first repeat her question and then answer it.
I don't have a microphone. So you'll have-
Oh, okay. So, oh, right, you don't. So the question is, I forgot it because my water bottle just walked away. Where's my water bottle going?
Oh, thank you, Margaret gave
It's
it
not
to me.
enough in it. Thank you so much, though.
So I believe the question was, you have all these options for logging in. You can use Facebook.
Oh,
or,
right.
Google or whatever. It makes it easier, but the reason they do that is so they can get all of your information that's on your account. So they'll get, if you read the fine print, it says, read the fine print. It says we have access to all your Facebook friends. And I would discourage you from ever choosing those options.
Mhm.
Make your own user ID, usually your email, and always use that. Did I answer that?
Yes, and I would absolutely agree with that because you want to have a distinct login for every one of your sites.
It's really cheap. I mean,
Yeah.
because people go, oh, this is so easy. I have my Google.
That's really
user
good.
ID and password.
Clearly, that's a part of security.
Yeah,
Right.
that's definitely
In
part
fact,
of
Google has
security.
access to photos
Mhm.
and will find your photos.
Right.
Don't get me started.
Yes. But while you're started,
But come back next month here to the senior center on which,
whatever date that is,
well, let's see.
19.
I think so.
Yep, July 19, because Bobsky, who's in the back of our room today, is going to be telling us about unveiling your past in 2024. Bobsky, genealogy meets artificial intelligence.
Uh-oh.
And as you can tell, we count on him for technical support in many ways. So,
I'm on a big AI kick. This would be a really fun presentation.
and then in August, you can come, and Gail Lewis is standing here in the room. She's going to give you her hidden secrets in Find a Grave. Find a Grave is another free site that many of us use a lot, but she's going to have a whole class on it. I hope we've led you to classes and places where you can get help on any topic of interest or concern to you. Do we have any other questions here in the room?
We had a question about security that we never addressed. So I'm
Well,
not sure.
Actually, the sign-on is one way of security.
It is one type of security.
Sites are constantly being
Hacked. Yes. So yeah, I understand your concerns about that. And it's true. Nobody can guarantee that any site is going to be 100% safe all the time.
And one of the things you should assume, anything you put out there in the tree, any piece of information, any photograph, any story, consider it is now public.
Yes, and that's a great point. I don't add anything to any of my living family members that is not publicly available information.
Of course, there's a whole heck of a lot more that's publicly available than we might want to believe. But just realize that that's a part of dealing with the online universe.
Everything we hit sin.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
I'd like to tell you also, we were talking about classes coming up in September, coming out in the new Go catalog. In September, I'm giving a class on honor your ancestors with your own family history. I'm doing a lot of research on this, really thinking about doing your own family history book. And then in October, Nick is doing a workshop on Family Tree Maker, and the limit is 6 people. 6, because it's a workshop. So if you use Family Tree Maker, he's our expert. There's only 6, the maximum of 6 people. And then in November, a lot of people use this photo, how to scan, back up, and use the photos in your tree.
Now, those are classes that are coming here at the senior center. Today has been an experiment with trying to send it out on Zoom. We'll have to figure out how well this has worked for everybody. We may continue making classes. Okay,
Applause from the Zoom audience.
okay, great. So we will try to continue to make things available on Zoom as well. The advantage, of course, to being here in person is you may get to bug us with a question after we turn Zoom off. In addition to the series of classes that Gail mentioned, at our July meeting, we're going to play around with that Relatives Around Me but we're going to have a presentation on immigration. In August, our regular society member meeting is going to be 4 roundtables. So 4 mini discussions, and they're going to be well, I don't have time to read through all of them. Sylvia's British records, among others. In September, our society meeting is going to feature the new genealogy librarian at the Denver Public Library. And if, for those of you that have been using the Denver Public Library, the genealogy floor has been closed to us for some time. She's going to tell us how to get help if it's still closed and when it's likely to open and what the resources are at the Denver Public Library.
And it's reopening this fall, so it will be open again soon.
In October, we're going to hear from Colorado's own Rosie the Riveter. You all recognize the name from World War II era. In November, we're going to search for a World War II fighter pilot. I'm not sure what we're going to learn, but Andrew Glasgow is going to tell us about this fighter pilot, Bill Glasgow. I'm guessing maybe he's related, and so we'll hear a fun story. So just to say, the Genealogy Society is doing a program every month, a class nearly every month, that special interest group on FamilySearch, a special interest group on DNA, and then we do a general workshop. That's on Zoom. Any question about genealogy, or come see us at the Longmont Public Library on Saturday morning, the last Saturday of the month, from 10 till noon. Bring your question and we'll try to help, whatever it might be. It can be as detailed as merging an individual on FamilySearch, or how do I find something on FamilySearch that isn't suggested as a hint?
Or how do I get started?
How do we get on your website? I'm sorry, on your mailing list.
It's
Oh.
on the website. Do you have this?
Just go to the Longmont genealogy.
Yep.
You're correct. It's on the bottom of your handout. The question was how to get on our website. Sylvia put it on the bottom of your handout. When you go to the section about programs and classes, you'll see these various classes or workshops that we offer, and there will be a place to sign up to be put on the mail list. Gail,
Tell them about our newsletter.
tell them about our newsletter, which neither one of us remembered to bring a copy. We publish a quarterly newsletter that is what? Stories of our genealogy successes, story of articles about, so we're looking at the website. So show them how to sign up for so the programs, classes, and workshops. Gee, that tab is new, isn't it, Mick? So come down to study groups, for example. And here's the FamilySearch Special Interest Group. If you want to receive an invitation, ask to be added. Or if you've decided it's not a convenient time for you or not useful, you can be unsubscribed for it. The same is true for all of these other activities that we're doing. But the quarterly is a publication 4 times a year that includes some help articles, how to do something or another, some did you know things, telling you where to find different pieces of information. It's written by other members of the society. So Gail, what's the last one you wrote and shared with us? Do you remember?
Why did Washington cross the Delaware?
What?
The other side.
Well, that was the argument.
Yep.
And nobody knew the answer.
So,
Mhm.
It was to win the war.
Yeah,
So the articles, the last newsletter was 38 pages long.
Mine.
38 pages of stories, of articles, of information. If you're in genealogy, 38 pages of information.
go back to the Family Search tab
okay,
if you can. Go to search. Go to catalog. And look for Longmont, Colorado. Look, if any of you noticed, Sylvia started asking about Longmont, Colorado. The computer changed it. It wants it from the
Larger
largest from the United
smaller.
States working back. So yep, that's what we want. Now, go to periodicals. I think. Well, this history periodicals.
Longmont Heritage, there we are.
Okay, the Longmont Heritage is the name of our quarterly. We send a copy to Salt Lake City every quarter. You can see them all. Let's go down a little bit.
This card has our website. And
So I recognize several of you as members of the society. If you are not and you want to know more, we have a whole page of information about the society. And Gail's saying we have a card just with our website. We would appreciate your evaluation of what we brought to you today. We would appreciate your suggestions of what you would like to learn from us in the future. And we would appreciate you coming to more of our activities. My voice doesn't like 2 hours of abuse. So thank you all for coming today. Hope to see you again soon.
Go ahead.
Research information in the Denver Library.